Hello and welcome to the Maidenless Podcast,
where we discuss the creatures and lore and characters and items and all the fun things in everybody's favorite game, Elden Ring, but also...
Today we're talking about all the FromSoftware games that we've played.
All the ones that we have played, which I think, Alex, you may have played more than me, but that's okay.
Yes.
Because I hate stronger than you do. So we make up for it. We balance it out.
Yes, today we're talking about our most hated enemies, not bosses, non-boss enemies, but most hated enemies from the Soulsborne series. We're going to do top 5, so I'll start with my 5th most hated enemy. Actually, I went first last time, so you can go first.
All right, my 5th most hated enemy. I'm going to have I have main ones, and then I've got an honorable mention for a lot of my main ones, so you know. So, my 5th most hated enemy brings us all the way back to Dark Souls 1, and that is going to be the Crystal Golems in Dark Souls 1. Do you remember them?
Golems.
They're the big, triangular-shaped guys that will track you down and beat the crap out of you, and you can't really stagger them with stuff because they're made out of crystal. You have to hit them a million times in a row to damage them, and then when they finally die, they break, and one of them has a guy inside of it. Yeah, I hate those. I remember anytime, once I got to, like, Seath, I remembered, like, because that's where they all start coming in. There's, I think, a couple of them in the Great Basin area or whatever.
Dark Root Basin.
Yep, Dark Root Basin. There's a couple of them. But, like, when you get to Seath and his whole area, and there's crystals and the wax guys and all that stuff.
They come out in droves.
They just are everywhere. And there's that little, like, wooded courtyard area where there's a billion of them. And there's one golden one, and I think that's the one with the guy in it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was the main unenjoyable part of Dark Souls 1 to me. Like, worse than Blighttown. Although, honorable mentions, the frickin' mosquito things in Blighttown.
Oh, spoilers.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I might have one.
Oh, no.
They might be on my list.
Okay. So. My other honorable mention from Dark Souls 1, by the way, the Hydras. I know they're a boss, but it's like a field boss thing.
Yeah.
And they're not, we didn't include them. But I hate them only because the areas that you fight them in are sucky.
So inconvenient.
I know. It's like, oh, do you want to step off a random ledge in this lake and die for no reason?
Otherwise, the last head, if you stand in the safe space, the last head will just clip through some geography and you'll never be able to hit it.
There's a safe space?
Well, like if you, like in Darkroot, you know, if you stay far away from the edge and right in the middle, I always find that I'll get down to one head and then it'll just like be impossible to get unless I put myself right up to it.
Oh, sure. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So those the enemy is cool, but those ones suck because of the area, which is why they didn't make it. Blighttown's little mosquito guys didn't make it for me just because it's like, okay, well, this is the perils of Blighttown, and they're gross, which makes me feel something. The Crystal Golems are so blah design-wise to me, and then so annoying to fight that it's just not worth it. And their stupid ranged attacks, the weird crystal, like, I hate that attack so much. So yeah, that's my number 5.
Okay. Well, my honorable mention are just in general dogs.
Okay.
I don't like fighting dogs. I don't like having
giant dogs, little dogs.
Just in general, but mostly the smaller ones.
Okay.
Small
zombie dogs are like okay, like just angry dogs.
I hate dogs.
Okay.
I hate dogs in video games. I don't like that they whimper when I hit them, but I know I must kill them. But they don't make it easy for me.
No.
But my number 5 are the snow hedgehogs from Frozen, Elysium, Lois in Dark Souls 2.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Just being surrounded by snow hedgehogs and slowly poked to death as you get staggered and staggered and staggered.
Yeah.
Happened to me so many times.
Yep.
Yeah.
I get that. That's understandable.
I don't think there's much more to say about them.
Okay.
I hate them.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so number 4. My number 4. And this one has some honorable mentions too, okay? There was a lot. There was a lot in this game.
A lot of hate.
In this particular game, and I kind of have these, it's funny, they're ranked not only by their difficulty, but also by the title. like the game. So my most, highest volume of hated enemies is from Dark Souls 2. And I don't know why that is. But honorable mentions, the little pigs in Majula. They're
Forgot about those.
why are they there? I feel like you don't run into them anywhere else. They're just there, and they're just there for no reason. Like,
Just to mess with
there's
you.
no lore reason to have them. There's no reason why they're so strong. You know, even like fully leveled up towards the end of that game, they're still annoying. So I'm gonna say honorable mention there. Honorable mention as well, the cursed jars, or as I like to call them, the cuss jars. In that wooded area in DS2. I know they're not like an enemy like that has like attack patterns or anything. It's more like an environmental enemy. So honorable mention. Honorable mention, Maldron the Assassin in the DLC. Because chasing him down that stupid big tower to fight him.
Oh, yeah.
He just shows up and then like runs away like Patches, but he's got no endearing qualities like Patches. He's just a coward with a lance. But my actual most hated from DS2 is the Rupturing Hollows. The just like the little mummy guys.
Clink,
Yep.
clink. Boom.
That area, I'm trying to remember what that area is called, but that area took me...
Sinner's Rise?
Yeah. I love the boss fights in that area.
Yeah.
Love them. I love that weird, like, two-bodied guy. Super fun. But that area took me so long to get through. I died so much because you'd think you're safe, and then all of a sudden you'd hear the stupid sound, and you go, no, and then you blow up. And it's like, it's the creepers of Dark Souls, and they're just obnoxious.
Just the worst.
Yes. So that's my number
4. My number 4, you already touched on them, but they are the Blighttown mosquitoes.
Yeah, that's fair.
And partially because, not that they do a lot of damage, not that they killed me a whole bunch, just they're so hard to hit. Especially when you're on any sort of scaffolding. And they can come down right on your head and sting you, but you cannot attack directly upwards.
I know.
So yeah, it's like, do I throw myself off of this platform out of frustration, or do I slowly die by mosquito bites?
Right. Oh, yeah. Or if you happen to be attacking, like locking on, and then you accidentally lock on to one that's like a little ways away, and then you fall because of the lock on, like, oh, it's... Yeah,
or you just vomit because your camera does a complete like 360. Yeah, so hate the mosquitoes.
Yep.
Number 3.
And interestingly, from DS3, it is the Pus of Man.
The Pus of Man.
Which is just such a gross name.
I know.
For such a... Ugh. I hate them. They're so nasty. It's funny. They're not that bad when it's whatever his name is, Grundir, Ludix Grundir. Is that how you say it?
I don't know if there's an R in there, but
Gundir,
yeah,
whatever it is. I don't know. Like I said, best last episode, I had said best practice. Just think the names. Don't try to say them. It's not as bad when it's him. No. It's really bad when it's just this random, like, hollow that you're like, all right, easy souls before I get to this next thing. And it's like, no, not easy souls. Hard souls. Dark souls, even. So, I don't like them. The design is so chaotic, and it's like, you're not looking at anything. It just looks like a programming error.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they're nasty. The name's gross. Not fun to fight.
Yeah, I do like that it's a reference kind of to Manus. You know, Pus of Man, Manus. It's the abyss. It's some dark.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I've never considered that. They're gross.
They're gross, yeah. They don't like fire, though.
No.
You hit them with some fire and they're
Unfortunately, after Dark Souls 1, I swore off pyromancy because it took so long to level it up that I never wanted to try it again.
Well, it's only really good in Dark Souls 1.
Okay.
So.
Well, that works.
My number 3 was the stupid Extendo Archdragon Snakemen from Dark Souls 3. Specifically the ones with the axes on chains.
Interesting.
Oh my gosh, I hate fighting those guys.
And you just don't like a dude with a lot of range, huh?
Yeah, and I just their movement is so chaotic and erratic that I just don't never know when to dodge, and I just get inevitably stun locked into death, and then I go away to take a sip, and then I get hit with the extending chain, or they're extending necks.
Yeah,
or,
that's fair. That's fair.
And also there was one on the what is it, Ancient Dragon, whatever the boss fight is for Archdragon Peak. The gimmick boss you stab in the head.
Yeah.
There's one guy that always just wrecked me, and he was one of those guys on the run up.
Yeah, that run up is a little bit rough. I will give you that. I do love that boss fight though.
Yeah. As a spectacle, it's incredible.
It's an incredible spectacle.
Have you ever missed the head? Missed the plunging attack?
Oh, I don't think so. I think most of my deaths were well before that. So
I didn't even die when I missed it.
Really?
I fell, and then I think I survived, and it was just insulting, and I just looked up and I was like, here we go again.
Yeah, he probably looked down like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. That was
pathetic.
You were supposed to kill me there.
I know. Pathetic.
This is basically a scripted death, and you ruined it.
And you ruined it, yeah. Number two.
All right, my number 2 is a typical one, just real typical number 2. I'm gonna go. Now you said Soulsborne, all that. I'm including Elden Ring in that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I didn't want to break the rules, but I also my number 2 is Rune Bear from Elden Ring. Any Rune Bear, and there's only one reason why it's not number 1, and that's because some of them you can avoid. And like the Consecrated Snowfields Rune Bear.
Yeah.
I avoid that. I avoid them all the time. There's no reward for that fight.
No.
You know, you don't get an extravagant number of souls. There's no cool Rune Bear claws or any sort of. No? If there was a reward for Rune Bears, Miyazaki.
DLC.
The DLC is coming out soon.
Please.
Rune
Bear armor.
Or Rune Bear claws. Or just like maybe an Ash of War or a spell that's like Spirit of the Rune Bear. Wouldn't that be fun? Where you just get like, even say it takes 50% of your health to use it, okay? Say it takes 50% of your health to use it.
Mimic Deer.
Right, but you get to essentially either transform into Cocaine Bear, or you just get like, say like a 40% boost in speed and strength and stamina, and you just get to shred through anything for even a tiny bit of time. Say that like at the end of it, when it's done, there's like a long animation where you're vulnerable and you're like, right? Yeah. Make it happen, and then I'll fight Rune Bears. But otherwise, no, yes. I'm always going to avoid them.
Yeah, I had something to say there, but I forgot it.
That's fair.
Yeah,
the Rune Bear stole the thought out of your head because they suck so much.
Rune Bear.
Mm-hmm.
They also have that. I think they have that same move as my number 2 enemy, the Bloodborne Sharkmen. Which
I still have not played yet. I'm going to once I 100% Crash Bandicoot.
Fair enough.
It's going to be a while.
But you know how the Rune Bears do that thing where they like kind of like jump on the ground and like swim towards you and just mess you up?
The chaos attack?
Yes. Yeah. That is from the Bloodborne Sharkmen.
Oh.
They did it first, yeah. They're just big, like, it's basically the upper torso of a shark.
I got to look these up.
Lower torso of a man.
Like, I'm picturing something right now, and I want it to be what I'm picturing. Bloodborne Shark Man. Let's just see. Shark Giant?
Yes, that is him.
Oh, the first article that comes up is Shark Giant hate thread on Reddit r Bloodborne. Okay, let's look at this. Oh, no, that's not what I was picturing. You see, what I was hoping for was a little bit more in Moana, when he like can't quite transform himself.
Oh, yeah.
And he turns into a shark with feet. And it's just like the top half is like a shark with little fins and just a big mouth, and then the bottom half is legs. That's what I was hoping.
That's kind of how they look in my head, but I don't think that's how they really look in the game.
Those are scary looking.
They are scary looking.
That's a scary looking game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
if I'm going to
be able to play that.
Game. But yeah, that's my number 2. They're really awful. They do that attack.
Is that the attack?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. They just crawl towards you and maul you with their giant mouths.
Oh.
And there's so much range. So much range.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number one.
Number one.
Most hated enemy.
Yes. I hope everybody agrees with me. I can't see a reason why I can't see a reason why anybody would disagree with me. And I'm kind of hoping that I've found your number one. Maybe not, though. It's Elden Ring. Is that your number one? Okay. It's the pages.
The pages.
Yes.
No, my number one, we already said. But
the pages, which cannot be staggered, can lunge you from 50 feet away. And if you're 51 feet away, they'll just hit a full automatic AK-47 exploding crossbow round at you over and over and over again. And it's like, I don't know. There's games that were developed a while ago that had anti-piracy measures.
Yeah.
Where, like, if you were playing a pirated version of the game, it would, like, lock you in a room and then you couldn't get past a certain area. Or, like, they'd send an unkillable monster hunting you the whole time, right? It feels like I'm being punished for pirating a game I've never pirated. Every time
that I pre-ordered.
Every time that one of those stupid pages shows up and they're in unskippable areas and it's like they can see you from 12 miles away and you're just gonna die. It's the only time I button mash in Elden Ring, and it's just I need to do so much damage in this 1 second that I never have to deal with it afterwards, because there's not a chance to dodge. I can't block that attack and still have any stamina left. I'm gonna die if he hits me with the crossbow. So I hate them.
See, I like fighting the pages.
I think that you are out of your mind.
I think they're a fun challenge.
Where's the fun? I get the challenge part. Where's the fun?
Because I'm like, you're trying to outdex me? You're really out here trying to outdex me. I will outdex you. So I like them because I'm usually full dex when I start these games. So I'm like, I've learned a few moves from this guy. And I love that he sits and plays his little flute in Landell. Have you found that little page?
No.
He's not aggressive until you aggro him, but he just sits there playing his little flute. And he plays a little song until you try to fight him, and then he puts his flute away and kills you.
Is it a pretty song?
Oh, yeah, it's like a little piccolo melody.
Oh, screw him. He's still a page.
Go die.
Yeah, he's still a page.
Like I said, we already said my number one, so it's a little anticlimactic,
Okay.
but mine is the Rune Bear.
Okay. Wow. All right.
There's a theme.
Like pages more than rune bears?
I do, because
it's crazy to me, dude. That's
because
crazy.
like the pages attack in such a specific area that if I am dexy enough, then I can avoid that. The Rune Bears, it's just I have to put on armor. I have to maybe use a shield. I'm like,
yeah. That's all right.
But no, I really hate the large enemies that have just so much range. If we were including field bosses, which maybe we'll do this, it would be the Deathbirds or the Deathrite birds.
Those are annoying.
I hate
those
the Deathrite birds.
There's one in particular that I remembered being the most annoying. And that's the one by the giant albinaric woman.
Oh,
you know, when you go like off the cliff over and right, and that one, I remember that one took me a good long time to fight. Yeah, and that was the second one that I'd ever found. And then I was like, oh, there's probably more of these. And then I found the rest of them, and I was way over leveled for all of those guys. But that one's a nasty fight.
Yeah, and then I remember the one in Caelid. I fought it when I was a lot less leveled, and they put them in areas with so much things to get caught in on the landscape, and I would just get caught in the flames and frostbite me to death.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I'm sure there's more annoying enemies that we could find, but these were the first ones that I thought of when I saw it.
That's fair, yeah. Field boss wise, I'm gonna have to give it to not the Deathbirds, but the Rot Dragon in Caelid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so funny. I love fighting him.
Only bad times for that fight for me. I don't know why. I mean, it seems like as soon as I touch Rot, I die right away. Like there's no build up. It's just like, oh, you got rotted. And I don't know. I feel like it would be appropriate for Ashton Kutcher to come out to tell me I got rotted. To make it just to make it more annoying than it already is.
Yeah, Rot's pretty annoying. But there's a lovely little spell called Flame Cleanse Me.
Yeah. Now, I never level Vigor because it's against my religion to do so. And Flame Cleanse Me, I don't know if you know this, but takes a little bit of your health away.
It does.
It does. Yes. And I also have one of the which little trinket is it that gives you an attack bonus only if your health is full.
Oh, Ritual Sword? Yeah.
Yep. So
you're rotted. You're going to die anyway.
I know, but I want to do full power attacks if I can, and it feels weird to like make myself hurt. I've never done the seppuku moves, any of the games. I
haven't done that either.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, that was our top bot. Try that again.
Yep.
Well, thanks for listening. That was our most hated. Oh God, what's wrong? I smacked my teeth together. I will do this outro. Well, thanks everyone for listening. That was our most hated enemies from FromSoftware games that we've played. Leave us your most hated enemies, and if you got all of ours, if you had the same hatred in your heart that we do, please please subscribe. We are kindred spirits in hate.
Mm-hmm.
Let the hate flow through you.
Oh yeah, I love that reference right there.
Unlimited power.